the New York Times could pose problems for now Governor
Yes, apparently how he portrays himself if he chooses to run for president is the problem, because the paper says he has a history of letting others foot the bill as he indulges, quote, in a taste that runs more towards champagne at the Four Seasons rather than a cheesesteak on the boardwalk everyman. I'm quoting the paper here. The Times details numerous luxury trips taken by the governor involving expensive hotels, private planes, high-priced car services. Among the trips, the paper outlines casino owner and Israel supporter Sheldon Adelson let Christie use his private plane for a 2012 trip to Israel. Christie had his own private bedroom in the plane and more than a dozen people traveling with him. Jordan's King Abdullah then paid for a family weekend at the end of the trip. The hotel rooms costing about $30,000. Christie signed an executive order in 2010 allowing New Jersey governors to have travel and related expenses paid by foreign governments. Last summer, Christie said it was a matter of opportunity, saying in part, quote, "I relish these experiences and exposures, especially for my kids. I try to squeeze all the juice out of the orange that I can." Well,
I guess the question is, those are all splashy details.
Yeah.
Is there impropriety there? Are there conflicts of interest?
And
well, some of the, I read that story, some of the people who provided planes, like for example, Sheldon Adelson had a dog in the fight on this bill on online gaming that Christie was trying to keep from getting passed.
That's an issue.
There are some people doing favors for him who had interests before
So you saw me wincing. It's because I just know that if you look at, I don't know, everything from the road from Little Rock to Washington for the Clintons.
Yeah, my only question about this story is they talked about one night that Chris Christie was around Bono. I mean, would we like to count the nights that Clintons have been around Bono, Beyonce, rock stars, kings, queens, have lived an extraordinary, lavish life that very few people, not only in America, but on the planet, they have lived like kings and queens. And I'm just wondering,
a parallel.
I'm just curious if the New York Times is going to write a story about Hillary Clinton and the lifestyle that she has led over the past 30 years along these lines.
Well, actually, there's a story on Bloomberg News right now about Hillary Clinton and her use of private jets when she was a senator.
Yeah.
There you go.
So there's that.
So
and then
will the New York Times follow up with a big splashy front page story there?
I know there were tons of stories when the Clintons first came to the White House where it was, and then there's the Lincoln. I mean, there's lots of.
But I think part of this point of the New York Times story was to contrast what Christie does with what he says he is.
Yeah. Did you guys see the next story that was up on Debbie Wasserman Schultz?
Yes.
What she said. This is, I
want to be really careful with it.
Absolutely.
Okay.